Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. When I first started thinking about and then planning a move to Mexico, I had so many questions. You know, practical questions like communications. What do you do with your physical mail? What's a long-term solution for a phone? I had so many questions about how things were different here compared to back in the States. And over the last about year and a half, I have assembled a handful of tools that I use that make surviving in Mexico a pleasure. With so many Americans and Canadians getting frustrated at home and considering making a move to another country, I hope this little list of tools that I use will help you find your way in a new country as well. These are tools that enable me to not have to call for help every 5 minutes and live a happy, safe, and healthy life here in Mexico. I hope in this quick little video you'll find practical tips to help you survive in Mexico like I have, or in another country, because many of these things can be substituted for another foreign country. And the first tool I'd like to tell you about isn't fancy or expensive, but it's something almost everybody uses here in Mexico, and that is the WhatsApp app. WhatsApp is a communication tool that enables you to talk with everybody from your vet to the gas supplier to friends and my neighborhood group. You can copy and paste text directly to Google Translate or other translation apps if you're not able to understand the language or need clarification. WhatsApp is free and you can use it on your phone or desktop. It's owned by Meta, Facebook, so keep that in mind. Most people here in Mexico use WhatsApp, and you can even make voice calls over Wi-Fi. As I got to know some of my neighbors here, one of them introduced me to the neighborhood group on WhatsApp. Not every neighborhood might have a group message board, but if yours does, it can be essential to knowing if anything unusual is going on in the neighborhood, like fire, some kind of crime, or weather events. If there is no group in your neighborhood, consider starting one yourself. You know what's funny? When I first moved to Mexico, I thought in the first 6 months, I'll be fluent. Spoiler alert, I wasn't. That's why Google Translate has become one of my most used tools. Not just to find the Spanish word for cucumber, but live conversation about technical projects like the casita roof. It can translate real-time speech between two people. You tap the microphone, each person speaks in their language, and it shows and reads out both translations. You can point your phone's camera at signs, menus, or documents, and it will instantly translate the text on your screen, even offline if you download the language pack. And it speaks the words out loud in the native accent, helping you learn the correct pronunciation. Another tool that's been really useful for me here in Mexico is Google Voice. It's a free service from Google that gives you or lets you keep your US phone number, and you can use it from anywhere in the world as long as you have an internet connection. Instead of running through cell towers, your calls, texts, and voicemails go through Wi-Fi or mobile data. That means you can make and receive calls just like a normal phone, but without international charges. It lets me keep my US phone number and make or receive calls over Wi-Fi, which means I can talk to banks, family members, or anyone back in the States without paying international rates. I use it right from my phone or laptop, and the sound quality is usually great. It also sends voicemail transcriptions to my email, which is really handy when I'm out and about. If you're planning to live in Mexico part-time or full-time, keeping a US number through Google Voice makes things easier, especially for things like two-step verification codes, keeping in touch with family and friends who don't use WhatsApp, or credit card companies that still require a US number on file. It's free, simple, and one of those quiet little tools that saves a lot of stress. I didn't get a Mexican phone number until recently. When I first came to Mexico, I started with an eSIM that worked across all of North America, and it seemed like the simplest solution. One plan, one number, but it was a bit of a hassle to install, and when I had trouble with it later, it wasn't that easy to fix. So I went into a Telcel store and got a regular SIM card with a monthly service. It was quick, inexpensive, and worked right away. Now I have a Mexican phone number in addition to my US number, which has made life here even more smooth. You don't have to get a Mexican number for everyday things like WhatsApp or deliveries. Your US number can work just fine for that, but you do need a local number for some Mexican websites like Mercado Libre, the local version of eBay. It's sometimes required for setting up accounts or verifying purchases. And as a bonus, my telcell plan actually costs less than that fancy North American eSIM I started with. So for me, it's been a simple, affordable way to stay connected here. An important thing not to forget is physical mail. What happens to all the letters and bills that still go to your U.S. address? To handle that, I use a service called ipostal1.com. It gives you a real U.S. mailing address, and when mail arrives there, they scan the envelope and send you a digital image. Then you can just decide what you want them to do with it. Open it and scan it, forward it to someone, or just shred it or discard it. It's been very helpful for the few things that still come by paper mail instead of digital. In fact, when I sold my house in Oregon, a rebate check was mailed to me there. iPostal1 forwarded it to my family, who brought it down to me in person, and thanks to the Schwab mobile app, I could deposit it right from my phone here in Mexico. It's one of those behind-the-scenes tools that gives me real peace of mind. I know that even from across the border, I'm not missing anything important. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you may have noticed, or maybe not, that I've never taken a sponsorship deal. And that's just because I never wanted my channel to feel like a commercial. But when a company offered to send me this mini rechargeable chainsaw, the timing couldn't have been better. So I took their offer, since I was looking to buy one anyway, and in exchange, I'm going to give you this honest review. When I first opened the package, I didn't expect too much. I mean, it is small. But once I got it out of the box, charged it up, and tried it for the first time, I was surprised. It's lightweight, fits easily in one hand, and feels sturdy. Not like one of those flimsy gadgets that breaks after a week. And because it's rechargeable, I don't have to drag cords around or deal with gas. Just charge it and it's ready to go. It also comes with an extendable pole attachment, which I didn't think I'd need, but it turned out to be one of my favorite features. It makes it easy to reach high up branches and overgrown brush without climbing a ladder. Perfect for pruning my fruit trees and clearing taller growth around the yard. My first test was on the little dead branches of my jacaranda tree, and it sliced right through. Then my son, who's a professional in the tree service business, came to visit. He took one look at it and laughed, thinking it wouldn't do much. But after using it for 2 days pruning my trees, he said he was impressed. And that's coming from someone who uses heavy-duty saws every day. I've been putting off buying a full-size chainsaw because I only need it once or twice a year, but this little guy, especially with the pole attachment, has earned its place. It's become one of those tools I didn't really know I needed until I had it. And as a woman living alone, I'll admit, sometimes I'm a little short on brawny muscle. Having the right tool makes all the difference. It gives you that feeling of independence, like I can do this by myself. Of course, as with any cutting tool, safety matters. Always maintain a firm, steady grip, wear eye protection, and stay aware of where the chain is at all times. If you want to check it out yourself, I have left the details and a discount code in the notes below. This isn't a sales pitch, just something I found genuinely useful. So that's my take on the mini chainsaw. Simple, practical, and surprisingly powerful. A little reminder that sometimes the right tool can make life a whole lot easier. Another household tool I'm really glad to have around is this mini lantern for when the power goes out. The power has gone out once since I've been here in this house, and having a light source that you can count on is indispensable. This little baby charges quickly by USB and emits a powerful light when needed. Also, in case of emergency, it's able to be used as a flashlight. And it has a red warning light, strobe, and SOS light. It's lightweight, collapsible, and water resistant. These would be good to carry in the car too in case of a breakdown. The emergency flasher would be great in the dark. They came in a pack of 2, and I gave one to a friend and kept one for myself. When I'm chilling on my enormous property, I like having these driveway alarms to notify me of any movement in areas of the house and yard when I'm not looking. I've had this old set for years and it works great. And I just got the second set from Amazon Mexico, and it's also working well. It has a sensor and a separate receiver which tells you when it senses any motion in its field of vision. This particular unit is battery operated with 3 AAAs, and you can adjust the volume and even the type of alarm and language. Safety is on my mind, and having this tool allows me to rest easy knowing that if anybody is on my property, I will know about it. That reminds me, you know how people name their houses in Hawaii or Mexico, like Casa Colibri or Aloha House? Well, I want to name my little finca too, so if you have any suggestions, please drop them in the comments below. I think it lends a certain soul to a home to name it, so I'm looking forward to hearing your suggestions. Everyone knows about Google Maps, but living in Mexico has given me a whole new appreciation for it. It's not just for directions, it's how I find things. It's taken me the wrong way down a few one-way streets, sure, but it has also helped me find hidden hardware stores, the animal rescue outside Morelia, and the best route to the airport. Even small neighborhood places show up, often with reviews and phone numbers. The first time I needed a doctor, I just typed Medico and a little clinic popped right up in my neighborhood. I saw their number, messaged them on WhatsApp, and had an appointment that same day. And before heading into the mountains, I always download offline maps. The signal can disappear fast, but those maps keep working. It's not every day that I recommend a particular bank, but another tool that makes life here easier and less expensive is the Charles Schwab mobile app. I don't currently have a Mexican bank account, and I don't really need one so far because banking apps have become so useful and so international. So when I withdraw pesos here in Mexico, I can use almost any ATM, and at the end of the month, Schwab automatically reimburses those charges. What other bank does that? It's simple and it saves a lot over time. You can also deposit checks right through the app by taking a photo, just like in the US. It's safe, fast, and works beautifully in Mexico. For anyone living abroad or spending extended time here, Schwab really takes the hassle out of managing money across borders. When you first move to a new country, the online world can really help you get your bearings. You can find just about anything if you know where to look. For shopping, I sometimes use Amazon Mexico. Delivery can be a challenge because I don't technically have an address, but you can have things delivered to some stores like FedEx's or DHL's, or I have a friend who has generously offered her address for deliveries. Not everything ships everywhere, but when it does, it's great. I've ordered household items, pet supplies, even tools, and most things arrive right on time. But honestly, the best tool isn't a store at all. It's online groups. The local and expat groups on Facebook are amazing. If you need a dentist, a vet, a plumber, or if you just want to know where to buy the best carnitas, you can ask there and people will jump in to help. It's also a simple way to start meeting people and feeling part of the community. If your Spanish is still developing, most browsers or the Facebook app can translate posts for you automatically, which helps a lot. So between Amazon Mexico and local Facebook groups, you can find most anything you need, and often a friendly person to help you find it. Living in Mexico or anywhere far from what's familiar isn't just about learning how to pay bills and fix things, it's also about learning how to live differently with a new attitude inside yourself. Some days go beautifully. The sun is shining, everything works, and you feel like you're in a movie. Other days, the power goes out, your Spanish disappears, and you just have to laugh. For me, the tools that really matter are curiosity, patience, and humor. Curiosity turns frustration into fascination. Patience reminds me that life here runs on a different rhythm, and that's part of its beauty. And humor, that's what saves you when everything else fails. And maybe the most important tool of all is friendship. Those connections carry you through the hard days and make the good ones even better. Such things are tools that don't take up space in a suitcase, but they'll save you again and again. When I think of my first 6 months in Mexico, starting a new life, it was such a heady blend of excitement, freedom, and chaos. The dogs and I moved every few weeks and we explored different regions from the lush Pacific coast to the mountain areas of Guanajuato, Chapala, and eventually my landing here unexpectedly in Michoacan. I realize now that I wasn't just exploring, I was assembling my own toolkit for really living well anywhere. Moving every few weeks got to be exhausting after a while, and I'm so glad to be settled here now in this beautiful place. And the tools I've assembled, from practical ones like good maps and the lantern, to invisible ones that you can't see like curiosity and patience. All these things have enabled me to live such a rewarding life in this beautiful place. So if you're thinking about moving to Mexico or really anywhere, there are things you can do now to start assembling your own toolkit. It doesn't have to be fancy, it just has to work for you, because really, tools are just things that can make you feel capable, connected, and safe in your own skin. Thanks for watching my video. I will see you next time.